Good day everyone. I am Vincent Sumatra from Doctor of Optometrist Audito Program. Today we will be presenting about disaster risk reductions and management, focusing on hazard and vulnerability assessments and strategies for disasters preparedness in Pasay. Our objective in this presentation first is to define the RRM concepts such as disaster, hazard, exposures, and vulnerability. Second is to identify the four pillars of the RRM. Third is to analyze potential hazards and vulnerabilities in our local community. And lastly, to propose the RRM strategies applicable to our community. Before we discuss the strategies, let us first define some important terms. Disaster is a serious disruption that causes widespread loss and damage beyond the ability of communities. Second is hazard, or potential event or conditions that may cause harm. Third is exposures, refers to the people, properties, and system located in hazard-prone areas. And lastly, vulnerability refers to the conditions that increase susceptibility to hazard. This can be physical, social, economic, and environmental. Now let us proceed to four pillars of the RRM. First, number one is preventions and mitigations, and actions to avoid or lessen the impact of hazard. This raising public awareness and educating. Example is this raising public awareness and educating communities about potential hazards, or contracts, or implementing strike land use and rebuilding construction codes to minimize structural damage. Number two is preparedness, planning and organizing before the disaster like drills and warning system. Example this one is to is an is a conducting drills or seminar about drillings. Number three is response. Actions taken immediately after a disaster such as rescue and relief goods. This is a common. Every disaster happen in our countries. There are some people who can help, who can provide their needs to the, to those to those people have to those people affected in this like typhoon, landslide, or else any kind of disaster of this of this of the area. Number four is rehabilitations and recovery, restoring normally after a disaster through rebuilding and livelihood support. So if you example if this one is dapat tayo ay magtulungan natin yung na makahaon yung affected people, or most like I could say is yung community that affected. One of this example, one of this na pwedeng matulong sa kanila is to rebuild their daily needs, or it's yung nung livelihood programs nila na para maka maka-rebuild sila sa kanilang buhay. And also establishing mental health support services of affected populations. Now we are four types of hazard, which is first is hydrometeorological hazard, which is composed of flood, typhoons, uh, or water eruptions. Second is a geological hazard. It means is an earthquake or volcanic eruptions. Second is a biological hazard. A third is a biological hazard, which is like a COVID-19 or dengue or else fever. That is a biological hazard. Example of the biological hazard. And lastly is a human injuries. The meaning is this is a composed of human errors or that's causes of fires, burning house, and malawakan ding sunog sa isang um, lugar na tulad ng mga forest or forest fire forest, I think so. Now we are proceed to community profiles in Pasay City. In Pasay is I will focus in the community of Barangay 15 Zone 1 in Pasay City. It is located on the eastern shore of Manila Bay, south south of the capital city. Pasay has a population of about 453,000 and above and counting. It is highly urbanized business district, but its locations near to sea and its congestions mix in front to multiple hazard. To identify hazard in Pasay, first is one major hazard in Pasay is flooding. This is caused by rapid urbanizations or aging drainage systems and rampant waste that clogs waterways. Aside from flood, Pasay also faces risk of storm surge and even tsunamis, especially in the reclamation areas such as Bay City and Harbor City. Fire. In fire, another major hazard is fire, overgrounding, congestions, and flammable building materials, increasing the risk of fire incidents, especially in the squat, called, what we could see is yung urban community or yung dikit-dikit na bahay, that I would could say that. Plus, and now another hazard is earthquake are also concerned since Pasay is near fault lines and has areas that are geologically unstable. For the RRM strategies or proposals, first is a flood preparedness. To reduce the impact of flooding, we propose the following strategies: proper drainage maintenance, micro dredging, and installations of early warning system. These measures will reduce flood water and allow residents to prepare when storms comes. Another proposal is a fire safety. We recommend enhancing inspections and response capabilities in high-risk and densely populated areas. With faster response time and stricter inspections, we can prevent loss of life and property. Earthquake preparedness, I will say propose then also is for the community must be conduct regular drills, promote awareness, and establish evacuations routes. Kasi hindi natin alam kung kailan po mangyayari ang earthquake. Dapat prepared po tayo for any disasters with any earthquake happen. These efforts reduce panic, increase safety, and minimize damage during an actual earthquake. In conclusion, effective disaster risk reductions and management depends on preparedness, community participations, and proper implementations of strategies. By working together, Pasay can strengthen its resilience against future disaster. Our reference is from the video of Dr. Alfredo Maharlakmay and STP module topic 6A Disaster Risk Reductions and Management. Thank you and happy a good day.